Hi guys, welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, here with Star Nations Radio Network, and we're broadcasting through BeLive TV and Facebook. It's been a while since I've been here, so welcome back to those of you who've been, faithfully hanging in there, watching the rebroadcasts, or waiting for the chance to get a card pulled for you later. We will do that as we go. But thank you for all the well wishes. A lot of you sent healing and good thoughts and prayers for me as I was moving through some abdominal stuff, which really did a number on me. But that's just what happens sometimes when we're clearing our energy, clearing our vibration. It works through all the layers, and it has to do the physical at some point. And so mine just sort of decided to happen at the end of my school year, and springtime is a great time to cleanse your energy. And that's one of the cool things about the meditation tonight is you can set that intention that the energy and the healing can help clear and cleanse your chakras, kind of give you a reboot. And even you could focus on a couple of organs if they're having a little difficulty, because that happens to a lot of us, like the liver, the kidneys, and I've had a lot of people talking about their pancreas lately as well. So, all of those could use a little TLC, and we can do that here with the healing tonight. And for those of you guys who've been here before, you know the drill. If you could like and share this broadcast, it helps us reach more people. Even if you just share it to one particular friend who maybe could use a little time for some self-care, that would be great. Because that's part of our job here, is to help, my spiritual team is here to connect with you, to help you do your self-care. Because as healers and as light workers, sometimes we share our light with everyone else and we forget to cleanse and clear and replenish our own. And I am definitely somebody who's done that. But I'm sure Neshi would agree with me on that one, because you're in your heart space and you just give and you don't realize you're running yourself a little ragged. So this will be our opportunity to do that and share that. And I know a number of you are interested in what cards I use later when I'm doing the card draw. And so tonight it is, let me see if I can get it where the light's not reflecting. There we go. The Answer is Simple by Sonia Choquette. And these cards are pretty straightforward. And so it felt like a really good deck for me to come back with. And if for some reason we have a huge amount of people, then I will use another one of her decks. I have a second deck of hers sort of off to the side. But this one is a 62 card deck. So I'm hopeful that that's enough for us tonight. If not, then we're going to break a record. And, I have another deck sitting, like I said, on hold. But I think it's nice sometimes when spirit just is plain and simple. Giving us the message in a very clear and concise way so that we can kind of, move forward from that. Sometimes we put a lot of our own spin and interpretation on things if we don't want to hear what's being said. So these cards make it really hard to do that because they're really, really simple. So you want me to show you again? So this is the Answer is Simple, and it's Sonia Choquette. And I've studied with Sonia Choquette. I've done a bunch of my psychic development work with her. She used to be based out of Chicago. Now she lives in Paris. She's a Hay House writer. And she has some lovely stuff that helps people expand and awaken their psychic abilities, their intuition. And I find that her card decks are very much geared toward people having a really clear and simple answer so that it doesn't have to be difficult. Talking to spirit does not have to be difficult. And so I really like that these cards are very straightforward, because I think you guys will enjoy that. So if you would like a card reading after the meditation, most of you know the drill, and just say yes, please. And we will pull them in the order that the request was put in. And I did have a couple people who private messaged me. And so, don't worry if you feel like we've gotten off track. It's because I had a couple of private messages ahead of time from regular listeners who were going to have questionable internet at the time of the show. So I didn't want to leave them out. So they're going to be at the front of our list. So with that, you guys, we're about to get started. My team is, getting me on the path here. And I just want to kind of put it out there. I have been sick. So if I feel like I'm getting tired or run down, I'm going to cut the card draw short if I need to. I'm hoping to get through everyone tonight, but if I don't, that's why. I'm also giving Neshi the power of authority. If she thinks I'm running a little low in the tank, then she has the ability as the director of Star Nations Academy and Star Nations Radio Network to give me the it's time to stop sign. Because, like I said, as light workers, sometimes we give and we don't realize we're getting depleted. So I'm just throwing that out there ahead of time. So let's start with our clearing meditation. And again, it feels like a long time since we've done this together. So we're going to start by really getting ourselves grounded in our space. So we're going to start by putting like our feet on the floor, or you're going to make sure that your back is laying flat. We want to feel connected to the space that we're in. And to do that, start by being aware of your body in connection. So how do you feel in your chair? How do you feel on the floor? How do you feel laying down on the bed? Wherever you are, feel your energy, feel the energy that is supporting you. And just allow your energy to kind of relax and merge with that grounded furniture or floor. And we're going to send down our energy through our grounding cord. Now, some of us may experience this as roots, like roots of a giant tree going from our feet. Some of us may experience a cord that comes down from our tailbone, or maybe even from like our belly button area down through the ground. And others may experience it coming from the heart. So we're going to quickly make sure that each chakra is connected to the earth. So we're going to start with that first chakra at our tailbone. And just take a deep breath and connect with that energy. It's nice and red. And imagine that chakra with its red energy sending a cord of connection down into the earth. And as it goes down into the earth, remember it's going to go through all the layers of rock and crystal, miles and miles to the very center of the earth. And find something really sturdy for your cord to be connected to. Maybe a rock or a giant crystal or a giant dinosaur bone. And now we're going to access our second chakra right below our belly button, that orange, beautiful orb of energy and light. And we're going to ask that to connect to our first chakra and then to go down into the earth as well. So now we have 2 strands of red and orange that are holding us sturdy and strong. And now let's connect to our 3rd chakra right in the solar plexus, that beautiful yellow orb of energy. And invite that to connect to your 2nd chakra, below it, and the 1st chakra. And then to send a giant yellow cord of connection all the way down into the center of the earth. So now you're tethered by 3 cords of red, orange, and yellow. And now feeling into the heart chakra, the beautiful green and pink orb, and sending a cord of connection through your 3rd chakra, through your 2nd and your 1st, and all the way down into the earth. Allowing these 4 cords to hold you. Now using your throat chakra, that beautiful blue color, to connect to your heart and your 3rd chakra, your 2nd chakra, your 1st chakra, and all the way down into the center of the earth. And now accessing the energy in your 3rd eye, in your forehead, that beautiful purple color, as it connects to your throat and your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral and your root chakras, and all the way down to the center of the earth. And finally connecting our crown, that beautiful golden white energy, and allowing that to connect to our 3rd eye, our throat, our heart, our solar plexus, our sacral, our root, and all the way down into the center of the earth. And just feel the groundedness of all 7 chakras being connected to the earth, allowing you to be present. And now we're going to invite in the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And we set the intention that the healing and the card draws today are for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And now we invite in the divine energy to call in your spiritual team. Access your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your star beings, your animal totems and mystical creatures, the great council, and really allow yourself to be guided, held, and supported as this energy comes to help us clear and release all that no longer serves us. So we begin by bringing the divine energy to the crown and allowing it to clear any ways that we hold doubt or we have difficulty with trust, or we question our connection or our own divine self. Then bringing the energy in through the third eye, asking for clarity, allowing space for your intuition and all of your senses to work together as a team, to open all the channels of communication that you are able to with the divine in this moment. And giving yourself the ability to see more clearly the messages that are being sent to you from your team and through others. And inviting yourself to be more seen by others as well. Seen, loved, and acknowledged. And then calling the energy into the throat to begin to open up all the ways that you can speak and share your authentic self. And open the ability for you to be able to hear not only the messages, but the nuances behind the messages. And opening space for your voice and your expression to be heard by others, so that you can share all your needs and your wants and your desires. And expand your creative expression in all the ways that you are able to do so. Moving down to your shoulders and releasing any tension in your neck and your shoulders where you've been holding energy for others. So you've been carrying responsibility. And releasing any energy around things that you should do, placed there by others, even by yourself. And opening up your heart and allowing yourself to release any old disappointment, grief, or sadness that you may be carrying there. In any ways that you are having difficulty breathing in deeply all that life has to offer and to share with you. Releasing old pockets of grief that have gone unexpressed or unsupported. And connecting with your inner child and giving your child space to play and grow. Releasing the child of any trauma that it may be carrying for you. Returning the whimsy and the fearlessness that the child can carry in its joy and love. And connecting to your inner adult, the responsible one, and giving them an opportunity to relax and release any stress, tension, or overwhelm that it may be carrying for you. Yes, that's a lot. He's reminding you of all the responsibility the adult is carrying and how heavy that is. And allowing you to release and connect to your inner warrior, that part of you that goes to bat for what you believe in, what is important to you and your family and your tribe. And give the warrior a moment of peace. For in this moment, they can drop their shields and simply be surrounded and protected by the divine in all the dimensions, vibrations and frequencies. And connecting to your inner sage elder, that part of you that carries all the wisdom from all the lifetimes that you have accumulated, and the knowledge of the universe that is right there within you. And opening up communication so that you're willing to listen and hear and receive the wisdom as it comes to you. And moving down into your solar plexus, that's been working very hard for most of us in this last month or so. Releasing old anger, resentment, frustration, and most of all, fear. And allowing the overwhelm and the anxiety to melt away as we sit and experience ourselves in the present moment, where there is nothing to do. It is simply a moment of being. And releasing any anger that is lingering within there. Even righteous anger that we've held on to. Yes, I know, this is the big one. There's a lot of energy there. And allowing our organs to release any residue that have been holding on to of these things. Even if we are unaware of it. Restoring our fire back into balance so that it is not burning out of control or it's not completely depleted. And allowing it to burn brightly. Allowing us to expand our self-esteem, our self-worth, and our self-confidence. And the passion and desire to do and be the things that are most true for ourselves. And moving into the sacral chakra and really allowing the water energy to return to an even flow. As it flows through our relationships with others, and allows our energy to express all of the emotions that we may experience. When we hold any of our emotions back, we stop the water flow within us, which is also the flow for abundance and creativity. and allowing ourselves to tap into our sensual being, that part of us that enjoys all of the senses and the joy and pleasure smell and taste and touch can bring to us in this physical vehicle. Yeah. And moving down into the first chakra and releasing any other fear that you may be holding on to, safety, security, anything that causes you to feel insecure or unstable, unsteady, unsupported. And really expand and open your foundation to be held by Mother Earth and the divine. And allowing the energy to flow down your hips and your legs. As that energy moves down our legs and down the cords of connection, just releasing any additional energy that we may be holding on to. If you have anywhere where you feel pain, stiffness, or stuck energy, just invite the divine energy to come through and cleanse that spot, dissolving and breaking away anything that is held too tightly to cause discomfort or dis-ease within you. And let it stream down and flow down your legs, your feet, and your cords all the way down into the center of the earth. And allow Grandmother Earth the opportunity to compost that energy and return it to original creation energy. And now let's invite the divine feminine energy from Grandmother Earth to come up and fill all those little places where we released energy so that we can feel full and supported. As it comes up your legs, just feeling that warmth of unconditional love as it comes up your legs and into your knees, your thighs and your hamstrings, into your hips and your pelvic floor. Really filling the whole basin in the pelvic floor. And then as it begins to move up your torso and your spinal column, just knowing that each bone, muscle, and organ is getting cleansed, cleared, and restored. And as it moves up past your belly button, really filling all of the organs in the spine. Allow it to fill all of your ribs as they surround and protect your beautiful heart and lungs. And then allowing your lungs and your heart to be restored and filled. And really letting the energy fill the heart so that you have room for more love and compassion for yourself and for others. And up through into your shoulders and down your arms into your hands. Releasing any energy that you may be holding there. Filling that space with healing. Moving into the throat and the neck. Releasing any tension that you've held on to there. The base of the skull. And as it moves up into your jaw, nice and relaxed. Your ears. Many of you clearing your sinuses of the allergies that you may be holding there. And opening your third eye to lovingly see and feel and experience your intuition more fully, and connecting to your crown and allowing the energy to flow down around you like a giant waterfall. And as it does that, it just cleanses and restores and repairs your aura in all of its layers, in all of the dimensions, in front of you, behind you, on either side of you, above you and below you, so that in all 6 directions, it radiates out through each dimension, through the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healing, through our karmic debt and our past lives, all the way out until we reach infinite source. And invite harmony and balance back into our system. So take a couple of deep breaths and thank your spiritual team for being here with you and allowing you to connect in this particular way, for being here this evening. Stretch, yawn. I'm going to grab a sip of my tea. Yes, I've switched to tea. All of you people who know me. I had to leave the coffee, even the decaf coffee, behind right now. So we are about to draw the cards for people who've requested them. And as I said before, for those of you who just got here, I will draw the ones for people who asked in the order that they were received. And a couple of people asked for cards ahead of time by message. So I have those at the top. And I'm using the Answer is Simple by Sonia Choquette. I love these. They're very straightforward. It's really hard to get confused on them. And I think they have a lot of wisdom for us. And I am recovering. So if at any point I feel tired, I will put an end to the card reads for tonight. And if, the wonderful Neshi thinks I'm getting depleted, she's the boss in charge. If she says you're done, I'm going to be done. So just keep that in mind. My intention is to reach everybody, but I also need to make sure that I'm not depleting my energy. So we're going to start with Rob. So this is Celebrate You. So I love this. It's like, there's throwing this party for yourself. And notice, I don't know if it's clear, they're all in masks. And you have taken your mask off. And I am so excited about that. So many people wear a false persona, and they're walking around pretending to be who they think other people want them to be. And when you are ready to be you, it's time to take the masks off. Allow yourself to be authentic. And in this, it's like, it's time. Take off your mask. Enjoy that you are Rob and that there is no other Rob on the planet. And we need you. So be you, play your music and reach people the way you're meant to. And the other piece that I'm getting is that you need to treat yourself with kindness. You are good at treating others with kindness, but maybe not so good at treating yourself with kindness. So when your inner voice wants to speak in a negative manner to you, take a step back and listen to whether you would say that to another person. And if you wouldn't, then it's not coming from source. All right. So celebrate you and be you. It's about time. All right. So Julie Hedges. Your card is give it to God. And look at all those balloons that need to be handed over. And I feel like each balloon has, has a significance. So let me see, 6, 10, 11. There are 11 balloons. So there are 11 things that you're holding on to that you've been trying to fix yourself. And it's time for you to let it go and hand it over. Our little brain only has so many answers, and it can only come up with answers that it's actually seen and experienced before. And most of the time when we're in a challenging situation, it's because it's time for us to grow and we've never experienced it before. So time to let go. And I know you've been trying to work on that. And just let the divine bring to you some new answers that you've never thought of or experienced before. All right, Julie Shumway Hill. Look at these cute penguins. So this one is take bite-sized steps. And I love this for you because I have a feeling you're somebody who sees like, all right, I got 100 things to do. And you can get overwhelmed by that. And when we get overwhelmed by that, we sometimes will freeze or we won't be able to take action. So what it's saying is just take little steps every day. Take a little step forward on your to-do list, on your soul's journey, and know that you're still journeying and you're still going to get there. And I also want to show you that this penguin is different colored than all the other ones because it's unique. You are unique. You do not need to do your journey and your lessons in the same way that others are. Just because the whole troop is marching along to this beat doesn't mean that's the right beat for you. So take bite-sized steps that are perfect for you and let go all of the shoulds. Like I should do this or I should do that, because you kind of beat yourself up a little bit on that one. We all do. All right, Christine. This is a nice one for you. It's called Change the Scenery. I love that she's swapping out artwork. Has nothing to do with our artist here. Sometimes we get caught up in the same old. And sometimes it's just a new perspective that we need to shift our mood, to shift our energy. So in terms of the change of scenery, I'm actually seeing real change. It's funny. I feel like you need to maybe rearrange your living room or change your bedroom or change your sheets. It's like freshen up the energy in your home environment. Because when that gets stuck, we feel trapped. And this is also a great time for you to get outside and experience nature. Maybe go somewhere you've never been before. Take a day trip. You love art. Take pictures of some places that you've never been, and maybe it'll help inspire you. But there's nothing wrong with shifting your living space and freshening it up. It can feel lighter and brighter. And I found I've been doing that quite a bit here, and doing that really allowed me to actually purge things that never occurred to me to purge. Because when I went to go put them back, I realized I didn't really need them anymore. So we've been doing boxes and boxes of stuff is heading out the door. So I invite you to try the same thing. All right, Ashley. Of course. Well, I hope you're a singer. It says, just sing. Now, you don't have to be a singer. But when we sing, we use our throat chakra, and the throat chakra being wide open like that, it vibrates our whole being. And when it vibrates our whole being, it starts to shift and it starts to clear. So whether you sing in the shower or you sing in the car with the radio, or you put on, like I have Pandora on my TV, I put it on and I start, I'm cleaning the house and I'm singing and I'm moving around and singing. It has nothing to do with how well you sing, but it's like getting your expression out there. And it'll also help you open up the ability to say what you need to say. Because sometimes that gets stuck in the back of our throat. So when we practice by singing stuff that we love, then we make space for words to come out that need to come out that are important. All right. Andrew, of course. All right, your card is blow off some steam. I love that it's sort of like this old time, steam engine. So, when we hold on to frustration and anger, it starts to impact our energy field. It really impacts the whole abdominal region, but it also runs up and down along the back of the spine. So what I see is you needing to get outside and exercise, do some things that blow off steam. For me, again, sometimes it's singing, getting in the car and singing that heavy duty rock song that just sort of like gets it out, because holding on to it is not helping your energy system. And sometimes you can do things like martial arts that use a lot of movement, and sometimes even just the sound as you're doing the punches and the moves. It can help release some extra energy. But if you hold on to that steam for too long, it actually impacts your fire and your water energy. And so that's not helpful for moving forward with your life or in any relationships. All right, so let it go. All right, Anne. Take a breather. I love that they're taking a nap in the hay. And really, this is, you worked hard. You did all this work. See the person who's like loading the hay in the background? You've harvested, you've done all this stuff. Now you get a chance to just relax. And sometimes that is the hardest thing for us to do, is to relax. And so I invite you to create some relaxation time for you. And sometimes that needs to be outside of our house, because we can all say, okay, I'm gonna take an hour for myself at home, and then next thing you know, the laundry's sitting there or the phone rings and the dog's barking, and you're like, you lost your hour because you gave it away. So for me, sometimes to take a breather, I've got to leave my house. Even if it's to go drive my car and sit at a local park if it's raining, and just read a book, just so that or breathe or meditate, just so that I'm in a quiet space that's mine. And I think that will help you restore your energy a little bit too. All right, Robin. Thank you, sweetie. Nice. So this card is stop. All the penguins are noticing there's a shark fin in the water, and maybe it's not the right time to jump in because they're going to get eaten alive. So this is telling you that you've been going and going and going. And it is not time for you to take a leap of faith. It is time for you to take a moment to pause, sort of check your surroundings, and make sure that you are aware of everything that is influencing any decisions. So don't make any hasty decisions this week. Make sure that you have all the information and all the facts before you do it, because you don't want to be eaten alive by the shark in the water. And there is that kind of foreboding energy in terms of like, you need to be cautious. I don't feel like it's anything that dangerous, but it's that you know, we have to be aware of our surroundings. And sometimes we get really ungrounded. So make sure you ground every day, and maybe a few times a day, sweetie. And I know you love doTERRA, so use that grounding blend, use balance, and allow it to help you be in your body so that you can really fully experience what's going on around you. All right, Christine, of course. Aw. So your card is you are safe. See the little moth on the flower there? It's not even a butterfly. And so lots of times we start to feel anxious or overwhelmed, and that's because our energy has gone too far in the future. So what it's basically telling you is to be in the moment and just really breathe. And if you do that, you will return to a sense of feeling safe. And it's important that we feel safe in our own body, safe in our environment, and we create our own safety. So, you know, you are being like, you've got this beautiful umbrella of flower that's protecting you from the vultures flying overhead. So even though other people are spinning in sort of crazy energy around you, you don't have to go there with them. You can just hold space and let them be off on their own and give them a little distance so that you can just stay safe in your own container. You don't have to spin out with them. All right? Okay, Jackie. Yes, thank you. Ah, this one's fun. Decorate. Let me see if I can get it down. There we go. I think you can see it better now. So decorate is, you know, this bird has got like this little crown on, a cute little necklace. So this is about bringing beauty into your life. And decorate can be your surroundings, kind of like I was saying earlier. Change your sheets, you know, get some new towels, or put a fluffy new pillow in the room to bring some color. But it also can be like decorate yourself. You know, when have you thought about, you know, lots of times we throw on clothes for comfort. My team was giving me a list of things that were self-care that I never even occurred to me that they were self-care. And one of the things was choose an outfit every day that you love. And that is part of your self-care, because when you wear something you love, you feel good in it. And when you feel good in it, you already start your day off that way. So wear something that you love or that makes you smile. Maybe put on some jewelry that you know, it has a lovely vibration. It could even be, you know, decorate your house with fresh flowers, or, you know, make some beautiful food. It's bringing beauty into your environment so that you can remember to access the beauty that's inside of you, because our environment is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So if it looks dark and gloomy around us, and out here in New England, we've had a lot of rain. So we need to bring in some sunshine. And so do that by bringing some beautiful new flowers in and that type of thing. All right. Okay, Bobby. Nice to see you. This is one I used to draw a lot. Get over yourself. So this is you looking down at a reflection of you, and it's also the masculine and feminine. And when the get over yourself card comes in, it's generally because we've got some drama going on. Most of it within ourselves, we're like, oh, I can't do that because of this, or I'm not able to do that because, you know, I'm just not as good at it as somebody else. And it's like, oh my goodness, get over yourself. When we're comparing ourselves to others, that's doing a disservice to the person we're comparing ourselves to and to us, because we're each unique in how we approach things. We're each unique in how we do things. We're all going to draw differently. We're all going to, create a meal differently, but that doesn't mean anyone is better than anyone else. So this is like, I'm getting the sensation of a little bit of a pity party. So let it go. It has nothing to do with you. It almost feels like you've taken something personally that you don't need to. And we do that all the time, or we make an assumption based on something someone said. And then next thing we know, we've turned a whole story around it. So take a deep breather and see who's really inside, connect to the real Bobby, and anything that sounds a little shaky, yeah, that's not you, and let that one go. All right. Lindsay, nice to see you, dear. Ooh, I like this one. Reclaim your art. I don't know what art you like to do, whether it's music or drawing or how you like to express yourself, but it's time to bring it back. And it doesn't have to be for anyone's eyes or ears other than you. So whether that's part of that singing or maybe it's dancing, because I know you had talked about dancing a little bit recently. So whatever that is, whatever brings you joy and creativity, bring that back into your life. And again, nobody has to see it, but it helps to get that creative energy flowing, creative juices flowing. And remember, that's where our abundance is. Bring out your inner child and let them play too, because they enjoy all sorts of art and all sorts of creation. And you can come to the wand making class on the 25th. You might have a really good time with Nancy and the crystals and all that and the fairies. All right, Susan. So your card is Call Your Spirit Home. And so this card is really about when we've gotten really caught up in the day-to-day life and we've kind of forgotten to keep our spiritual self as part of our everyday life. So this is inviting you to remember to ground yourself a few times a day so that your spirit is actually in your physical body. It's inviting you also to, do things like stretch or meditate or sing or dance, whatever allows you to connect deeply to your own spirit. And we all do it our own way. And I'm also hearing for you, that's connecting to animals and nature. So when was the last time you went and visited a horse and got a little nuzzle in, or got to share some beauty and time with one of the great beasts? Because I know that really helps bring you into your body as well. And if you don't know how to do that or who to do that with, to contact Karen, because she'll help you with that. All right, Brandy, nice to have you. Of course. I guess you're going through a lot. So it's saying to you, see the light. And the flying children remind me of Peter Pan, right? The joy and wonderment that the inner child can create will allow us to take flight. So in this card, seeing the light is remembering that, number one, everything happens for a reason. And when we're in the midst of it, I'll tell you, it's hard to know what that is. having had that recently, it's sometimes hard, but asking for the truth to be revealed behind it. And if you can't see it yourself, then calling on, your spiritual team, your spiritual mentors, your spiritual teachers to help remind you where the light is. Because often when we go through a lot, we start to see the darkness and we forget to look for the light. And remember, when we're seeing darkness in front of us, generally the light is casting it's casting the shadow from behind. So if we just turn around, the light is right there. So reconnect with your spiritual team and ask them to help you. And if not, get some really cool guidance from some spiritual teachers who can remind you of that. Because I feel a very heavy energy around you. And that's because you are trying to go through this spiritual transition. You're basically getting ready to do an energetic upgrade. And we have to kind of go through a dark night of the soul to show that we're ready to move forward. And so if you can think of this as a test because you're ready and worthy of moving forward, maybe it'll be easier to move through. Okay. All right, Lynn. Of course. So this card is just laugh. A great Jack in the Box. Laughter really is sometimes the best medicine. It opens our heart. You cannot experience sadness and laugh at the same time. So when we have that heavy energy, sometimes laughter is a really fast way to clear it. And it's so easy these days to find ways to laugh. You can, access, TV shows or movies, or comedians on YouTube. There are all sorts of ways to access things that will help you laugh. And I will encourage you to stay away from things that are really dramatic and heavy and intense, because that makes it extra hard for our energy to lift up. So this is something, that's going to have a happy ending and it. It's not going to have this dramatic cliffhanger. Has some beautiful resolution, and there's some great ways to do that. And hang out with people who make you laugh and go play. There's a lot of places where now you can go, have some adult play, play video games or go bowling or dancing or karaoke, whatever it is that will just let you relax and laugh because you've been too busy adulting. It's time for you to have some inner child fun. All right, Kimberly, glad you are here. This is stay away from the crowd. I have this woman friend who talks about sheeple. And sheeple are people who follow the herd without paying attention to anything. They just sort of blindly follow what everybody else is doing. And what this is saying is it's time for you to realize that just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you should. It doesn't necessarily resonate with your soul. So you may need to distance yourself with some people. I feel like there's some people around you who are super negative, and it's draining on you. And you can lovingly, put up some boundaries where you spend less time with them, or, you let their phone call go to voicemail, so that you can actually give yourself some breathing room. And this is encouraging you to take your life in a new direction that's aligned with who you are, not with who everybody else is around you. And that's a tough one, but you aren't alone, even though it feels like you're alone in this picture. You're actually heading to a herd of like-minded people who are everybody's walking in different directions, but they know they're all part of the same tribe. All right, Jackie. She and I know this one really well. Detox. Sorry, dear. Yeah, this is the time of year when the detox is so big, There are cleanses that you can be doing for your physical body. Even what I was talking about with the laughter, That's an emotional detox. By pulling yourself away from drama, like not watching the news for a few days, trust me, somebody will tell you something that's important. You're not going to miss anything. And really taking that negative vibration out, whether it's physically in your body or it's energetically around you, your body needs a little break. And this is true in the springtime, and springtime is big for the liver to need to cleanse. In the Star Nations magazine articles, there's this great contributing writer who has been talking about how to cleanse the liver. So if you just go onto Star Nations magazine and look at that, it would be a great one for you, for anybody who's feeling that energy. And especially if you've been noticing that you've been cranky or angry lately, then it's the liver that needs the detox, sweetie. But, you know, sometimes we got to detox from the people around us too. All right. Carol. Hi, sweetie. I will be out there in June. All right. Perfect. Share your gifts. I love this for you. You know, you are such a caring person, and you love people, and you love to have people over, and you love to share your time. I'm feeling like part of the share your gifts is like having this like potluck dinner at your house, and having people out by the pool and on the deck, and just sharing community and sharing time. And maybe it's the end of, you know, the end of winter party. Finally, we're ending winter, right? I know we're in spring, but boy, some of us have had, you know, long extended winter, and maybe it's just time to get that. But you have such a big open heart, and that's one of your gifts, is that you see people and you value them. So create a gathering where you can honor different people and their gifts to you, which then becomes your gift to them. All right. That sounds fun. I like that. All right. Maureen, thank you. It's not an emergency. Sometimes things happen and we freak out and we think they're urgent, and we jump up and down and we run around with a chicken. And the reality is, chill, it's fine. It may not be going the way you expected things to be going, but that's okay. It's going the way they're meant to. And so if you're feeling any anxiousness about like, oh no, this is happening, just take a deep breath and go, oh, this was supposed to happen. Okay. You just were missing the script that said it was supposed to happen. So take out the panic attack energy. Not that you go there very often, but that kind of ramped up feeling. Just relax. It's not a big deal. Even if it feels like it in the moment, just let it go, because it's exactly how it's supposed to be, and you'll be nice and relaxed after. All right. Brianne, I'm not sure how you say that, sweetie. So your card is tell the truth. So this card comes up when we've been holding on to something and that we've needed to say. And we didn't say it because we didn't want to hurt the other person's feelings, or we were worried how they would perceive us. But the reality is, when we don't speak our truth, it's like we're holding on to a secret almost. And secret energy not only collapses your throat chakra, it collapses your intuition, and it collapses your heart. So it really, and it can do a number on your third chakra as well, but it really collapses those three chakras so much that then it's hard to express anything, to be creative and to be seen and be heard. So sometimes we have to take a deep breath and actually just say what we need to say, And don't worry about the outcome, because we will create something more crazy in our head than can actually happen. And lots of times people may not be happy to hear the truth, but they're thankful because they knew something was wrong. So when we don't speak, they can sense that there's something up, and they start to create crazy stories in their head. So it's so much easier if we just take a deep breath and we just say what we need to say, and know that you're going to be rewarded for that. That a lot of things are just kind of fall into place because of this one little thing of speaking up. All right, Mary. Listen to the music. I'm really sad because I know there's a number of you who don't even know what that Victrola is. It's an old-timey turntable, which is what those records get played on, or those albums. And we used to have to crank it to make it play. And notice the dog, the cat, the mice, they're all listening. So listen to the music is listen to what's being said around you. Listen to what's going on in your environment, and listen to actual music to help calm and soothe your soul. But when we listen with our soul, there's so much more that we are able to hear. And that happens when we listen to people in communication, and when we listen to spirit, and when we listen to even just music, the message that comes through. You know, there's lots of times when I'm listening to the radio and my team puts on a song that's answering what I've been asking without even realizing it. So really being aware and allowing the music to heal you, and to heal others around you. Soul music really vibrates in our soul. It's very helpful. All right, Amy. Aw. Spread the light. Can you see all the little fairies carrying the little flowers that are like almost like lanterns? So this is reminding you that you have your own gifts and you have your own light to share with other people. And when it's saying spread the light, it's saying stop hibernating, stop hiding, and get out there and shine in your own unique way. And sometimes we think, oh, well, I don't know what my gifts are, so I don't know how to shine. Sure you do. Just go out and smile. Smile to other people, treat people like they're human beings, and let them be seen and be heard, and you will be spreading joy and light to a lot of people. And if you have a healing ability, healing practice, don't be afraid to offer services to people in need. You know, go to a nursing home or a hospital or something and just sit with someone and send healing, because we have the ability to really shine brightly, and it's time for you to do that, okay? You have a lovely light that needs to shine. Christina. Getting a similar message here. Turn on the light. You're standing at the top of the mountain. Now it's time to shine. And really with this, it's like you've done a lot of work. You know, you've gone through this huge climb, and now it's time to sort of just relax and shine who you are, because shining who you are is going to speak to so many other people. And again, this is healing. When we're ourselves and we're just relaxed in ourselves, other people who aren't ask, how are you so comfortable being you? And you can say, well, I healed. I've been healing. I've been working on me, and doing that, it allows me to feel more comfortable in my own skin. And maybe you can help that person just because of that. So it's time to flick the switch. Don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. There are many people who need you to shine. So get out there and do it. Seems to be a theme tonight. All right, Cindy Lynn. So this one is lend a hand. So lend a hand comes up when there's somebody around us who could use a little support. And there's a difference between lending a hand and becoming a crutch. So I'm going to remind you that helping somebody isn't taking over and doing it for them. It's saying, how can I help? And it's having super fantastic boundaries on how you give that help. And maybe lending a hand is, you know, driving somebody to the grocery store whose car isn't working. Maybe lending a hand is giving your neighbor some envelopes so they can mail their bills. It doesn't have to be this huge act of service. It's just everybody needs a hand once in a while. And if we offer them to people in need, then when we're the person in need, then there's plenty of hands around us to help us. And I feel like it's a little bit of a time for you right now to give back, and because you have the energy to give back. So it's time, and find a way that feels good. Okay, so Neshi is telling me we are done, and I'm good with that. So I know I missed some of you guys, and but I'm doing some really good self-care, and I've been off for a couple weeks.
Okay, so I know this is hard. This is hard for Polly Joe to do, and that is to be able to say, okay, my energy is done, because I can see it, and we need to help her to help herself. And so I do apologize for those that didn't get their card tonight, but we really do need to be able to say when we need to. So again, apologies, but we'll pick it up again next week, and she's going to be even stronger next week because she's going to take some time for herself, right?
Yes, I'm going to go to Maine and restore. So thank you guys for lending me a hand by giving me a chance to take care of myself. I really appreciate that. So with that, you guys, I will see you next Tuesday on Chakra Sessions at noon. And again, I'll be back here next week at 7 for Soul Connections. And thank you for being here with me as I'm moving back through my recovery. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great one.